Hey guys, Will Mahan here with Saberoon Design Tutorial Blog, and last weekend I invited my readers to send in suggestions for tutorials that showcased features in Photoshop that they'd like to learn more about. And one of those requests was from Lemuel, asking to know a little more about smart objects. Now, I've already done a couple smart object tutorials and I will make sure to link to those in the caption, but for now let's take a look at just one more of the awesome features that you can perform with smart objects. Now I've got here two simple circles with a little bit of an outer glow effect. Now let's say for example that I wanted to add a purple glow that encompassed both circles. Now without the smart object documents, the only way to really do that is to edit destructively, and here's an example of how that would work. We would select both layers, we would have to rasterize them, and we would have to merge them together. Now once we've done that, we can open up our Layer Styles panel and let's add an outer glow effect like so. And there we have it. Now that works, but with one major problem. We've destructively edited, which means that the only way to go back and change that is to undo however many times is necessary to get back to the point before we made those changes. Now what if you've already made 20, 40, 60, 100 edits? Now you may not be able to go back far enough to fix that, depending on how many history states you're allowing Photoshop to store. And even if you could go back, you would have to basically undo all the steps that you performed after this and then go back and redo them, and that's always a lot of trouble. Let me show you a better way. Now that we're back to where we started, we want to edit this non-destructively, and we're going to use smart objects to do that. And the way it works is this: select both layers just like you did before, but instead of rasterizing and merging, choose Convert to Smart Objects. Now, as I explained in my previous tutorials, when you convert a layer to a smart object, it no longer exists in and of itself, but rather it's a reference of another image. And in fact, Photoshop creates a large document file and stores the original content. And so from now on, this smart object layer is going to simply mimic whatever's going on in there. So now we can double click to bring up our Layer Styles menu, and we can apply that same outer glow that we did previously. At this time we're doing it non-destructively, and if you'll take a look at the green circle here, you'll notice that the purple and the green glow seem to blend together a lot better than they did working destructively. Now I know what you're thinking, why convert it to a smart object? Because it looks exactly like it did before. Well, here's why. As I said, we're working non-destructively because our smart object document is referencing a source document. If we double click on this little icon right here, it will open up that smart object document, and there you'll see our two original circles completely intact and completely editable on an individual level. Now, just to show what you can do with the smart object, let's go here and choose our rectangle tool and draw a rectangle in the center of the document. Let's duplicate this layer style by holding down Alt and dragging the FX icon onto the new layer. And let's change the colors of those glows to yellow, just to make it more interesting. And there we have it. Click OK and click OK. And now once that edit is made, we can close our smart object document, and when prompted to save, choose Yes. And you'll notice that Photoshop updates our composite. The rectangle is now included, and it has the purple glow around the outside of it, and we did it all without destroying any of our source material. Now here's an interesting little tidbit. If you've made the upgrade to CS6, they have added some of the same capability to the groups, and here's an example of how that works. Let's go ahead and duplicate this smart object layer by holding down Alt and dragging straight up. Now let's select both layers, and while holding down Shift and Control, click the Create New Groups icon, and that will put both of those layers inside this folder. Now that we've done that, we can double click on the Group 1 layer, and it now has the ability to benefit from the Layer Styles panel. Now while the smart objects do exist in CS5, this feature does not. Well, let's go ahead and add an outer glow to the group, and this time let's make it orange. Click OK. Change the blending mode so we can see it a little better, and click OK to commit those changes, and there you have it. And to me, this is one of the neatest things about smart objects, the ability to pile layer styles on top of layer styles on top of layer styles without working in a destructive fashion. And that's going to do it for this tutorial. Lemuel, thank you for your question, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.